Hey, so today we're playing Detroit, Michigan to get 5 drops in the city to visit in real life. So earlier this year I went to Toronto for a music festival, this one here, Lost Evenings, and combined that with a road trip around Lake Erie. And Detroit was the first stop along the way. This trip was already planned before I started posting on YouTube. So this extra going around had to be squeezed in with all the pre-existing plans. So I just want to give a big thanks to my travel companions, Chris and Lana, who put up with all of the shenanigans of driving around these cities. But either way, this is Detroit. This is the first stop. I'm gonna post the rest of the trip in the upcoming days. But for now, let's see where I get robbed and where we're going in Detroit. So come along. Never been to Detroit, never been to Michigan before. So those are gonna be first. And yeah, we start on Outer Drive West. Which doesn't tell me much other than that we're probably more west. Outer Drive does not ring any bells. There's like some signs here. Maybe they can I jump over on this side? Outer Drive, Vassar Drive. Okay, that's just how they put up the road signs instead of the traditional hanging over. So, but if we're west, I'm thinking that moving east makes sense because that would lead towards the city center, presumably. So we're just gonna bounce up here. Okay, we have wheelie bins that actually say Detroit on them. If you ever find yourself in a random location, wheelie bins tend to have a lot of information, or at least like in America, in Australia, these kind of places. I'm not sure Europe is as big on putting town names on wheelie bins. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's just a feeling that I've had. Whereas, yeah, if I play like Australian maps, American maps, it's a fairly good indicator. Either way, we keep going west, and it's just like an eternal row of these red brick buildings and pickup trucks. So we definitely know we're in America, right? Can we make any or draw any conclusions here from like license plates? I have no idea what a Michigan license plate would look like, or oh, they look different. This looks yellow and this white with like some blue border. I mean, usually, so this here, it looks like it's a blue line in the bottom and maybe something green towards the top. But it's not completely unusual that a state has more than one type of license plate. So Avenue of Fashion, can't make this out, but I can make Detroit out, but not the rest. But is this like a map? Is that meant to be a map? Can I? Oh no, it's one of those moving. Okay, either way, the outer drive that we've been on ends here. No, or does it? it seems to end here. And instead we ended up on, what did it say, liver something. I don't know. So we're in a fork and we need to make a decision. I decided to go south. Oh, it looks like, oh, maybe they don't have plates, front plates at all, or yeah, some do, some don't. So yeah, maybe it's like one of those voluntary situations where you can, if you want to, but okay, apparently you can get away with not having a front plate in the state of Michigan then. Terrace Place. I mean, we're still not really 7 mile. Okay, so I wanna say that there's an 8 mile because of the Eminem movie. And here we can see 17, 16, so okay, we're fairly... And it ended at 9, did it? Where did we go? 9 mile, 8 mile is this here, so outer drive, here we go. Outer drive east though, and then Pembroke. Outer drive west, outer drive, yeah, but I mean, like, that must have been the one we were on, and we came down here to Livernois, yeah, and now we're on 7, so yeah, we've basically been on this one the entire way. We've gone quite far though. This one sounds familiar. Is that where we started? It is. Okay. So we'll lock that one in for our first 5,000 points. Okay, welcome to Detroit. And here you can see the first intersection of Outer Drive West and Apolline, I'm not sure. Basically just a semi-big road. Not much exciting going on here. We have some dudes behind me here throwing a yard sale. So if anyone is interested in some lawnmowers or barbecues, this is the place to go. Yeah, no, otherwise not so much. This was the first drop, first 5,000 points, and let's keep on going and see if we can find the other 4 drops as well. See you at the next stop. Okay, so kind of like knowing and maybe keeping track of these mile roads is a good indication to find where you are. That means that we want to kind of like rather travel in a north-southern direction, right? So that we know that we're gonna intersect these mile roads. Are they a mile apart? It seems like they seem to be fairly evenly distributed, right? Yeah, 11, 12. So let's say it's a mile in between each, I assume. These are things that Americans can do when they construct cities this young, not having to worry about all the ruckus of having old town city centers from the 1400s like we do in Europe. Beaumont. Okay. So, I mean, maybe not like a massive street here, but like, let's start traveling south here instead then. Can I get, like, are there no street? Oh, here. Okay, so Cadieux. I don't know, like, what's the French connection here? Like, is there one? Or I feel like Michigan is not like one of the old French states, is it? That they were like in Louisiana and whatnot. Someone please enlighten me in the comments and explain to me why there would be French influence in Michigan. Beaumont. Oh. William Beaumont. What? Is that just like Birmingham, Close, and Beverly Hills? I mean, I haven't seen. Okay, so let's see what's this street then. Maumee Avenue. Maumee. Hospital emergency exit. I mean, yeah, this doesn't look right, even though it sounded like it. There could be. Is there another Beaumont hospital then somewhere? Dearborn. Like, are all these hospitals? I mean, like, it's not really a hospital though. Like, it's more. Oh, I mean, it says it is, but more like a health set, like something smaller, presumably. Yeah, I could be looking for that for a long time, so let's just continue south and see where we end up. Jefferson. We end at Jefferson and Sycamore Lane. So we're almost heading more northeast now, though. That everything seems to be so much on grid, so that's a little bit off. Here we are more Henry Ford. No, we still don't know. Okay, well, it's good to observe that we're not like heading straight east. Just gonna run out until we find a bigger, what was this? Fisher Road. Okay, was that significant enough? I mean, what was this? Like a building with a tower here almost. Is this just like someone's mansion, or is it a church, or what's happening? Oh, here's it behind here. Yeah, okay. Grosse Point. Some American flags. Ooh, well, what do you know? Water. Grosse Pointe Woods. And wait, where did we, what? We basically just Lake Shore Road. Yeah, that's this one. So we must have come out here. Yeah, that's the, okay. And here's the Beaumont. So here we came. Ooh, here's like another outer drive. Didn't we go to outer drive before? Didn't that go completely? Yeah, outer drive. Oh, it turns down somehow. Okay. So we definitely went down this one, but I can't remember where we started. So now let's go back and figure out here. Right. Okay. So Mac and Corville. Mac was definitely here. Oh, and here. So I'll take that one. Here we are for drop number 2 in Detroit. I'm trying to block out the sun so it won't get in the camera, but you can see behind me the intersection of Mac and Corville, and also the oil exchange place. This is Mac. I don't know if it's Mac Avenue or Mac Road or whatever it is. We're in the eastern part of Detroit, in an area I think is called Grosse Pointe. Don't hold me to that, but that's what the map tells me. Yeah, so this was the second drop, up to 10,000 points, and that's 3 more to go, so let's get going and catch the rest. We end up on a parking lot at JCPenney, Verizon, Kohl's. I have no idea, is this Westland? So I'm gonna go ahead and make an assumption that we're in the west of the city. That would be a very reasonable name for a place called Westland. It would be less reasonable to put it here. I know though that not all the cardinal direction place names in America make sense all the time, but okay. I mean, it doesn't look like it's the most popular shopping area of this city maybe, but okay. So yeah, based on previous experience, we're gonna then try driving east, assuming that we're in the west part of town, and try and get closer to the city and finding some sort of Wayne Road. Oh, yeah, no, okay, I can still go here. Welcome to Westland, an all-American city. What does that mean? Is it a city of its own? What counts as a city here? Like, how far from the city center of Detroit do you need to be your own city, and what's like a suburb or Warren and Wayne. Okay, but here it seems like we're on what's going on here? 359. That sounds cheap, isn't it? Like, how old is this footage? Better days, or maybe it's just a lot cheaper to fill up in Michigan than it is in certain other places of the country. Okay, what do we have here? Waynewood Apartments. Is that a Michigan state flag? Perhaps. Red Oak Plaza. What is this? M153 Fort Road. Is the M for Michigan? 153. Oh, Westland. And I mean, it just says City of Westland actually. But either way, okay, here's like a here's Westland, yeah. Okay, and Wayne Road. Did I lose myself here now? Like, didn't I have something pinpointed? 153. That's what we were looking for. South Wayne Road. North Wayne Road. 153. Wayne Road. So this one is the one we went down. Westland Shopping Center. JCPenney, Kohl's. And now comes the fun part of trying to discern. Okay, so we have this little bendy bend here. And then there's the first row, and we're basically on the second row. I want to go here. This looks like an entrance, and this looks like it's marked for an entrance. So, okay. Close enough. And okay, so Westland Shopping Center. And we're very far west out. So here we are outside of the JCPenney and the Verizon shop over here, and the amazing parking lot of the Westland Mall or shopping center or whatever they want to call it. Quite an unexciting spot in Detroit, but it's what we got by the GeoGuessr gods, so we went. And let's move on to something hopefully more exciting. See you at the next spot. Okay, well, this was a bit different. So we're starting off in a roundabout, and like this is like a little, not like a gated community, but let's look at these. Regent Drive and Lake Ridge Lane. So Lake Ridge Lane is the one we came out on. My guess is as good as any here, I feel. So we're heading west. We'll come down to another road here. Regent Drive, is that? No, but that's the one we came off of, right? Rockton. Okay, let's head southwest. This seems very different, like we're out, like there's a lot of green areas. Presumably we're a lot further out somewhere. Okay, so now the road has turned into a more straight south row. We get some snow coverage up here as well. And we're so far out. Okay, and there we lost. No, okay, there's the snow again. I mean, like how far out? I mean, like this, because this even looks. I mean, it looks like we're. I mean, it looks like we're like out here somewhere. You know, like far away. And okay, we're heading kind of southish again. Walnut Lake. Is that? I mean, here's like a bunch of lakes here. I mean, oh shit, do they all have names? Yeah, well, I mean, of course they do. Is there a way to figure out one? I mean, yeah, so, I mean, it could be something like out here, Duck Lake. These areas, like, look reasonable for... But yeah, gonna need something more to go off. Middle Belt, Walnut Lake. Yeah, now we keep going south because I think we're definitely up in that lake district or whatever they would call it. Woodford roundabout. No, what happened to the roundabout? Oh, is this when they're building it? It's gonna say they're not too keen on roundabouts in America otherwise, but okay, apparently. Okay, but the Maple Road sounds very Canadian. No. Yeah, roundabouts, but then they still have the red lights, so... Oh, is that only for the crosswalks, maybe? Okay, we're gonna take a drive here now, try to speed this up because this is gonna be a long round as it is. Farmington Hills. Rochester Hills, Bloomfield Hills, Farmington Hills. Oh, Walnut Lake here. So we came. Okay, do we actually even know? West Bloomfield. Okay, let's. Okay, so we're on 14 mile here. And is it middle belt? Where did it go? What's happening here? What happened? I mean, like, I was literally just watching. Okay. Middle belt. Here we go. Okay, so this is the one we came down. Yep. Regent Drive, Lake Ridge Lane. Were we up in this little roundabout? Then we're heading southwest, and then yeah, that's where we are. Okay, here we are at the end of Lake Ridge Lane in the township of Bloomsfield, I think it says on this wheelie bin. I think I tried to read that when I'm trying to identify this place, but wasn't able to. I'll switch over here for you to be able to see in proper resolution. Anyways, this was our 4th drop in Detroit, or rather in the townsfield of Bloomfield then. And yeah, it took some searching, but we got here in the end, and on to the next. Okay, very much up north there, so... And here we are at another little warren. No, is that just the autocare? What is that symbol? MH. What could that stand for? I don't know. East Avis Drive. Madison Heights. Madison Heights, oh. What do you know? And I mean, City of Madison Heights welcomes you to the west. So we're coming from the east, sort of, and we're on East Avis and the Quinder. Oh, this is it. Okay. Now it's just a matter of if we can actually... Elliot, I mean, I have to find that road as well, and now I feel like I'm moving several miles. East Avis Drive. Eureka Express Auto Repair. How far did I go? I didn't go at all. I just crossed here, right? So to the east would be this, yeah. Where did I start? I literally just went over there. So I'm by this entrance here then. Okay, so here we are in a loud and busy intersection in, I don't know, the outskirts of Detroit, I guess. You can see here we have the street signs, and yeah, across the road you can see the intersection here where I was looking. Well, this was the fifth and the final drop. Kind of unexciting location, but well, you can't win them all. That's it for Detroit, Michigan. Standing down here by the river with a nice backdrop of the Detroit skyline, and on the other side here we have what I believe is Windsor, Canada. Well, that was a day in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm gonna continue on with this road trip now, and I'll catch you in the next city.